So today we're going to be working on healing our dreams. And I know that we have a lot of dreams in our world. We have our night dreams. We have our daydreams. These are dreams where we're processing. You know, we're trying to process, get greater understanding, get some answers. The dreams that I want to talk to us about are the dreams that come from within your heart. The dreams that connect you with your spirit and your soul. These are the dreams that well up from within that cannot be explained. But the common thread is that there's always something true about you in the dream. There's something of you in value in the dream. It comes with the knowing that this is possible and you are ready. And when you feel it and touch it, you know. The heart dreams reveal to us a bit of who we are and what we came to experience on this planet. They're a message from our soul. Now, some of these dreams are not always about what is my life journey. That's the one thing that we look to. What am I supposed to do on this planet? Sometimes they're dreams of an experience or a moment in time. And I wanted to share with you one of those dreams from the Aquarian. This is at Jesus' birth, when he was an infant. His parents took him to be sanctioned at 8 days. They have a ceremony. And there was a man named Simeon who had been waiting all of his life to see this being that was going to come and save them. And this is what he says. From early youth he had been looking for Emmanuel to come, and he prayed to God that he might not depart until his eyes had seen the Messiah in flesh. And when he saw the infant, Jesus, he rejoiced and said, I am now ready to depart in peace, for I have seen the King. And then he held the baby and he blessed the baby. He blessed this child, and he was complete. This is a dream that that man held that created a very special moment. The infant was held by a man who had tremendous faith in God and tremendous faith in the mission of the infant. And he was able to hold this baby and bless him. Don't you think that moment was powerful for the soul of Simeon? And powerful for the infant. To know that you're in the world now and one has been waiting for you. One who knows what you're going to do and passes the blessing to you. Our lives are full of those moments of intense, mission-oriented exchanges, and they're also full of our life journey. And all of them come up from within our heart as a dream. A desire, a wanting. All right, I want to talk to you a little mentally now. So why don't you listen to your dreams? Why don't you follow your dreams? Why aren't you paying attention to your dreams? You know, why do you dismiss them? When we come into the world, the very first thing that we're taught is to focus on the outer. Our parents, even to the infants and toddlers and 3 and 4, we have to pay attention. It doesn't matter what your belief about raising children are. You're teaching them to pay attention. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to this. Okay, we're trying to teach them how to make their way in the world of matter and to navigate. Think about it if, and we let them play. We let them play. Go play with toys. Go interact with something here. If you ever come upon a child who's daydreaming, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just dreaming. Well, here, why don't you read a book? You do this. We are so oriented to interact with the outer that we negate the time to dream in and remember the inner. And we teach our babies from the get-go to do this. And what this does, it develops an aspect of our personality that we call the ego. Our egos are fabulous and wonderful, and they have one job. They show us how we need to navigate in the outer in order to remain safe. The ego is developed from childhood forward. And if you can imagine this piece of you that assesses the outer instantly, and then tells you whether you're safe or not. Do you understand? And it's instant. It doesn't even go through the conscious mind filters any longer. And then you make your choices accordingly. How much breath does your dream have in that scenario? Your dreams are not based on the outer. They're based on what you came to do from your spirit. So, how we open our dreams is to actually consciously look and ask. Because we're so oriented to the outer, we have to turn within and ask, what are the dreams? Most of us lose touch with them. And we do that basically at 2 times in our lives. The first time we look for our dreams is when we're trying to decide what we're going to do with our lives. When you're a teenager or you're young 20s and you say, what am I going to do? Then we go within and we look and we say, okay, is there anything that makes sense to me? Any dream I can dredge up that I think I can make work? So we will look for our dreams then. The second time we look for our dreams is when we come to that point in our lives when nothing works. And we go, wow, this isn't working for me. And then we go within to the dream and try to find something that we can dredge up once again that will fit in our world, the world that we know it. But the problem is, the job of the ego is to keep us safe. The job of the dream is to propel you forward in connection with your spirit. So the ego's guideline is what is. The dream needs intuition to tell it what to do. The dream needs intuition to tell it how to become. And then we have to let the ego go. When the ego comes up, when I was first started into metaphysics, I was really shocked because I came traditional, kind of. And I always thought the ego was pumped up, man. You know, when they're pumped up and we say, man, they're in their ego. They are so into themselves, you know. But the ego is also when you are having a pity party, when you're feeling sorry for yourself, when you're overly sad and enjoying it. You know, it's any feeling you're having that reflects your relationship with the outer, you're in your ego. You're not in your truth. Do you see? So anything that we're doing where we feel our position in the world is being threatened or challenged, or we don't feel good about it, or someone doesn't like us, blah, blah. That is all ego. And you'll never find your answers from that position. You have to come back within to the dream. Can you see how when you start to build a dream, the first thing the ego says is, number one, there's no material here to build this dream. You're not going to get it done. You don't have the money, time, or resources. And number two, who do you think you are? You are nothing but this small person in this big world, and you need to go back and make a living and do your job. Does everybody know what I'm talking about? And has everybody been there? Okay. So we know that when the dream begins to emerge, there's automatic opposition to it. And how do we overcome the opposition? We remember where the dream came from. Dreams are always a part of the divine plan for your life. And they may not be eternal. Your dream may be a moment thing. It may be something for the next 5 years. It may be something that carries you through for the rest of your journey here on this life. But it is a part of the divine plan that you chose before you were born. Looking at it that way, wouldn't you want to know your dreams immediately? Okay. Yes. All right. This is what they said. When we begin to open up, number one, we need to open to our dreams without opposition. Without opposition at all. And if you say, I don't really know what my dream is, what have you always said, I've always wanted to? You say it all the time. I've always wanted to fill in the blank. If you start listening, that I've always wanted to is a part of a dream being revealed to you. You know, maybe one of those momentary connections. It may be something deep. But I've always wanted to. I always tell people, go back to when you were about 8, 9, 10. What did you want then in your life? Because in that is a spark of your soul's path. It's within all of us. And you can open up to that and feel that. And there's a residue of that somewhere in your world that's seeking to express. Number two, when you open up to fulfilling your dreams, you want to allow your intuition and your higher self to guide you. Because you really have no idea how to make it happen. If you did, you would have. And if you can make it happen right now at the current level of consciousness where you are, who's going to govern it? Your ego. I have a dream. I'm going to go and make it so tomorrow. It's going to match what my ego perception feels. I need to let my dream be guided by spirit and be born within me and flourish with spiritual support. All right. So we open our dream, and then we open for our higher self to guide. And this is what they said. Because your dreams are always a part of your divine plan, we have to allow time for the support team to gather. Because you are never alone. You're not alone in your dream. And sometimes we'll realize our dream long before the support team's there, but we know it and we hold to it. I know when I was a little girl, and I knew for a fact I could not be a minister because girls couldn't be ministers. That was against the law of the church I was attending at the time. So I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I was a little 10 to 11 years old, somewhere in there. And I said, my choices have been eliminated. So I decided that I was going to get a doctorate degree, not a master's, I wasn't stopping there. I was going to get a doctorate degree in parapsychology. And I was going to go out into the world and do readings for people and teach people about God and help them find their past lives. And that's what I was going to do. And I declared it to everybody who I met that year. I was so certain that that was what I was going to do. I was just going to be fabulous. And then life takes over. And then you go on. And you do what's in front of you. And you pay the bills. And you take the job that's given to you. And one day you can't take it anymore. One day the dream wells up within you. And I remember I hit a point in my life where I knew that if I stayed in corporate one more day, I was going to die. The heart within me was going to die. And I prayed. And I knew the only dream I'd ever had was to be a minister. And I wanted to be a minister. And times had changed. We were out of the dark ages. We were into a little bit of enlightenment in the world. And I had found religions. I was shocked when I found a religion that had a female minister. I was absolutely startled that it was allowed. So, Spirit took the dream. I did not. I found a place where I could go. I did not look for it. It came to me. And, you know, when I realized I was going to be a minister and I could do the training and get ordained, and I was so excited, and what I wanted more than anything else was to be tucked up under a nice big church that would just take me under their wing and let me say anything I wanted. I did not want to start a church. That wasn't my dream. I hadn't even thought about it. But I wanted to teach. I wanted to be a minister. I wanted to teach. I wanted to teach metaphysics. I wanted to share what I knew. I wanted to be able to share from my heart. I did not want to start a seminary program. I did not want to create a school. I wanted to teach. But the universe had a bigger role. The plan that I was to plug into was bigger than me. They said, great, we're glad you're on track with your dreams, Cindy. We've been waiting for you. Now we're going to gather everybody up, and we're going to do what we planned to do, which is InnerQuest. I didn't create this. I got on my path. This was a part of the plan. When after our psychic fair this Saturday, it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. The people were so fabulous and loving, and it was our best fair, and I just had a great time. And I went home and I just was speaking to God, and this is what they said. You know, Cindy, the psychic fair is the introduction of the School of the Christ to the world. Everyone who comes gets a taste, an introduction to the School of the Christ, how to open the Christ within them. We had so many people that visited for the first time that had never had a healing, never had a reading, and they came in, and they had no fear. And they had a great time with the rest of us. And we got to touch the hearts and show people how another faith expresses God. So it was a very beautiful thing. But I share this with you to share with you, you are plugging in not only to your dream, but to the blessing of the whole. Somehow when you follow your heart, you are going to be a blessing to everyone around you. And it is bigger than the part you play. It's always bigger than the part you play.